What's crafting to all the chaoticans from all around the world? I hope you've had a beautiful Christmas and a beautiful New Year, because this is a new episode of ChaoticCraft. Now, last time I left you with this, and I have to give you a pre-warning. Unfortunately, my gaming phone has broken, so now I have to revert back to the old methods. So hopefully it's not going to be too laggy. But yes, we started off, we showed you a little bit of this last time, so I'm going to show you what I have done. So obviously I have just basically blocked this out with simple, oh, simple blocks like stone, but I'll show you this when it's daytime. Now, I have been heavily inspired by one of my favourite comedies of Red Dwarf, so I'll go show you the first floor. Now this is pretty simple really. I've used a lot of the modded blocks. We've got the andesite, we've got these sort of barrels, the cookers, the pipes, and I wanted to give it this almost spaceship-esque feel, so we've got these lights at the top as well. Will make some funky noises. And yeah, hopefully I will try to figure out some sort of door system here. I want to sort of do it as, say you take off a piece of armour and it picks up and opens the door and I can walk through, and then I take the armour off and it will shut behind me. Well, I'll figure that out. So it's a bit like, I think it was Impulse last year on Hermitcraft, he did something very similar. But yeah, I want to do something like that. Now we've got this lovely long corridor. I'll show you behind these things in a minute. We've got a lift, so you remember the spaceship that I made? Now this is a similar system about how it works, but I've just put it as a lift system. I've got 4 floors, I've got living quarters, I've got like the communication research area which controls all this stuff that's going on, so like command base. Then we've got the dock for the spaceship, which I not attempted, and then we've got, let's say, we've got this floor basically. So you come over here. Now this part I wanted to keep white, and I think we're going to make this into a sort of Mcpe type thing. I'm going to make use of the heads like I normally do. Obviously, I did show you behind here, I've got some emergency ladders to go up and down. We've just got all my redstone over here. You can dump your redstone in here and it will come up in anything that I put, but if I click on this, this is my storage display unit. If I click on any of these, I can get it out. And I didn't tell you, I also made a phantom farm because I was after more phantoms, and I thought, you know what, it makes it a lot easier. Now, I've used a little head inside the box. I've obviously used the mob head system. I'll show you how that works in a moment because it's quite interesting, but I wanted to make it sort of like Holly. We'll call it actually guys, if you've got any ideas of what to call him, we'll use that name around here. And then we've got this big sort of space which is going to be the command center down there. Then I moved our waystone into here, so it's a little bit safer now. Did you hear that? Sounds like a walking over mud. So yeah, we've got so many more areas that we've expanded, and I made it to 60,000 blocks. But anyway, I won't take you down to the floor that we're going to work on first. I will take you down to the living quarters where I'm doing a lot of the work. Now, I know, dangerous, that is our lift shaft. That's the floor that we're going to go on soon. This all needs zhuzhing up sort of thing. But this is like the corridor that takes us from, don't know what you're doing down there. This is the corridor that takes us from the lift into where we want to go. First thing we're greeted with is the vending machine. So if I click this, I've got a nice plate of beef, and then we can walk into here and we've got a little cafe sort of thing, little canteen, and you know what, I want to place that there. This is like the cafeteria area. Well, I wanted to cram it into a tight space and give it that sort of canteen-esque style. I think it sort of worked. We've got some like posters of food, the food presented there, cookers behind, and it works quite well. I believe in here we've got my collection of heads, and I made some sort of scanning device here. This is mob heads again, so it's a little bit mob head magic really. I wanted it to be like eye scanner. You press the button and the eye scanner, and this is the small crew's quarters. So we've got a couple of bunk beds, chair, small desk, and this is a wardrobe which is just slotted into the wall. So you can sort of get the one half locker type style. But that is not what I am most proud of. Oh yeah, I put rubber on there to get in and out. It's pointless, doesn't work, but yes. Then we've got this room. This is my one based around the Red Dwarf cabin quarters. So you go through here, opens up the door. This is their quarters. I have tried to match it up as close as I could get it. So obviously when you walk in, you see the bunks, and then there's a door next to it, which I'm assuming is their shower rooms. So we've got sort of shower here, basin. What is that sound? Then we've got their little sofa. So I can sit down here, watch TV. At the moment we've got a villager, probably telling the news, and their little kitchen, and the tank that he used to feed. Can't remember what he was feeding in there, but it was quite cool. Then we've got the main desk, and then this is what I am extra proud of. Oh yeah, there's Lister's bunk. Yeah, this is what I'm proud of. This is, we've got an armor stand with basically pattern on it, on a shield, and then these are mob heads. So if I can go up, that is a breeze head. There's a ghast head. We've got a piglin head. That is a I can't remember. Got some glow squid head, and then I've got one of the boars from Nether, and then double block on top. But I think they look quite cool as TVs, and I think it'd be quite cool if I could make some more of these in a bit. So I'll show you how I work those out in a moment. But yeah, we've got the automatic door obviously here. We can come in and out, and that is basically this floor done. I didn't want to go through it with you because it was quite a long-winded task. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of how that has turned out. So we'll go upstairs and I'll show you how the lift works. So obviously you've got the one lever up the top, lever up the top. You've got a lever down the bottom. All you got to do is click that, and then you just got to do your timings, and it should be down. And this is the floor we are going to be working on. It's nothing exciting. We've got some low ceilings opening up to a big room here. Now, the floors need to be redone because you can see underneath it. I'm going to change those out. I have roughly put some labels, so we've got lamps, and this is sort of where the lift is. So we can do some sort of, maybe put some vending machines around here, maybe a seat, I don't know. And then this is the area where I'm going to be working today. So as you can see, I have sort of been experimenting a little bit. So by putting a stone cutter underneath a armor stand, and then placing the shield onto the armor stand and changing the pose of it, so you can make it go sideways, which is quite cool. If you put one of these in front, it gives you that sort of look that you need, but I need, because over here I'm going to be putting like a big control part. I want this to sort of have three screens, so we need, I'm going to try slabs if there's any shorter. I'm not sure if I put any in here. Nope, I have not. But if I put these away, I'll go get you some slabs now, and we'll have a go at making one of these things. So as you all probably know, I am not the biggest decorator in the world, but we are going to attempt to do some funky stuff. So put down some slabs there, then we need a couple of armor stands and then a couple of shields to go along with that. So I've got a few here. And shall we go for that one, and we'll go for this one. I tested out a few styles and I quite like these. So for this one I had to stand like this, so if I stay at an angle here, I wonder, that's going to be too close. I believe some of these are going to be a tiny bit too close to each other because the armor stand is very different. So if I go like this, this is all trial and error. I have not tried this out before, but if I put one here and then we put another one here, then we want to go angle here and angle. So that's where the shield's going to be, on the left arm. So we need to be the other angle, so we need to be here. Okay. So this is all trial and error, like I said. I have not done this before, so let's see if we can do this. So if I crouch, pose it. Okay, it's quite far out. So maybe we pull the slab forwards. So let's get rid of this guy. Let's put the slab there. Like I said, people, just try and error. I do not know what I'm doing. No, that blocks the screen. No. Okay. We're gonna get there. This is gonna be like the 4th time looking. But we're gonna get there. Here. No. Right. Here. Here. Equip. Pose. Now I think these need to be knocked back a little bit more. This is going to be too far out, so I'll figure this out and I'll bring you right back. So I gave up on that because it exposed too much of the armor stand. So what I've done instead is I've done a sort of unit like this. Now I don't want this exposed, so it looks like we're going to have to do a piston setup. If I can figure this out, I need probably a lever or a button. Why did I not pick up my redstone? Because I don't plan ahead, do I? You all know me by now. Anyway, we'll sort that out in a minute because I want to show you some of the ways I do stuff. So I've got some of these stray heads, and I have got my mob head wrench. Well, I haven't anymore. It's on the floor. So if I get this, I know that the inside of this is hollow. So it's a case of trying, because it goes to the position that you stand. So as long as I can get this straight. Nope. Not quite. Let's go there. If I go like this. No. This. Yes, that's accurate enough, as I like to say. So this is the menu that you get. So obviously I want to scale the head down, so we're going to make it small, so it can fit in between these two things. Then we want to move it up, so we move it up. And I know you can probably do this with dies to make it a lot easier, but I do like using this method here. The rotation is the tiniest bit off, so if I go... No, it's the other way around. It's all hit and miss. It's all learning. So that should be straight now. And then the rotation, I need to figure out to flip it. So possibly this way. It is this way, but it's not. It's too much. So if I go to... No, we want to go the other way. Like I said, is it 180 degrees? We'll see. Nope. This is the fun of trying to work this out. Oh, do I keep it like that? What do you guys think? No, because this is supposed to be another screen, so we're going along the right. There you go. And then we need, because obviously now all you can see is the head, but you can see the inside, which is quite cool. So right now we need to go, I think it's X, yes, minus X, movement, minus X, movement. And you can only do this so far back. The head's still on show. Okay. Maybe not, because it shows the block behind. Maybe we change the rotation so it's the top of the head. So let's change the rotation so it's the top of the head. No. We'll change it so it's over here. No, that looks like a bucket now. What is going on with my brain? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Go that way. Bit more. Bit more. Rotation. A little bit more. One more. It's going to be 90 degrees. And then we could probably move it back one more. So, okay, it's gone into a black. But you know what, I quite like a little black screen there. I think because sometimes when it gets caught up with the movement and the block behind, it decides to change the quality of it. So it is a black look now. We could possibly use the insides of these again, but I have quite a few different heads. Now these heads are so cool. I've got this horse head. Now I'm going to think, what golem? What's a horse? What use is a horse head? You'll see. Not much use, I know, but that's going to come in helpful for a control panel in between chairs, which is quite cool. But we can also try out. Let's go. We'll go for an iron golem head. Now the iron golem head could. Well, I don't know. Let's go up this side. We'll put the iron golem head here. Just remember straight. Place. Okay, the iron golem head has a solid underneath, but we get the gist of it, don't you? And I'll bring you back once I've figured out the system for this, and then we'll get on with building the rest of it. And I have done a little bit more work on this area now. We've just done this nice little corridor down here with some lights down below. I haven't yet finished everything off. As you can see, we've got these rooms and this room, but this is the grand reveal of the main room. I did spend a little bit of time figuring things out, so we've got all the screens in place. Using mob heads is quite difficult, especially with the wrench. So we're going to try it out. The die method. So the die method uses the same thing, but I believe you just use one die to move it as much as you want. So by clicking on it and move it back, but it will require. So you got 1, 2, 3. So probably about 6 or 7 different colours. But I love this, how this looks. We've got little screens up there. I know you can probably tell there's like a nose up there. These are villager heads from the tundra, and I think they'll make quite good sort of holes. You obviously can see, well, eye holes just looking between. You can see the blades behind, but it looks like moving machinery. Then we've got this one. So we used bee heads and stray heads, and then there's a cat head, and there's another. There's a villager head. I think that looks quite cool as well. Now this, just ignore the table. This is supposed to be like a map table. This is the main control unit. Now I've used quite a little bit of bits and pieces. Obviously, starting up at the top, we've got, I believe that's a ghast head. Yeah, so you can see the faces, but from this side you can't see the faces. So unless you're outside, you won't be able to see it. Now we've got this is where it's going to be a lot. So we've got iron golem, and that just gives us a sort of curve. Then we've got a bee, and I quite like the way that the antennae look like little levers. And then we've got we've got a squid head, so that gives that. Then 2 sheep's heads either side, just sort of round, like square off the boxes. And as you can probably see, these little beady eyes popping out. Haven't put anything on here because I wanted to show you what it was. And obviously you can walk in between, and you can see it is a horse head. Now horses on the realm at the moment are very hard to come by, and so are their heads. The rates aren't that good, but I put 2 horse heads and then cat heads and bits and pieces on top. And this makes the main control panel, so anything that's happening below we'll be able to see. So I think I might just do camera drones floating around to map everything. But yeah, this is the main compartment. Obviously I've used the same design as the little lights down below for the main lights, and I blocked off this area here as well. There are lots of bits and pieces. I've got a great clean up to do. So many bits and pieces everywhere. It's not helpful, but I quite like this. I think for the size of room for main control center, I think I've pretty much nailed it. Now this project is going to be quite a big project to work on, and I'm going to probably work on it off screen and then show you guys what I've actually done. But whilst you were waiting while I was doing that, I dug a deeper hole, and this takes us down to the bottom. So I'll see you down there in a second. Right, we are down in the landing cargo bay area, and I have moved this guy over so he's landed it, and you can probably hear him. I have a little iron golem just under here, and we've got this nice line up pattern. So there is method behind my lunacy. So these guys all hooked up to a sculpt sensor at the bottom. So if I just show you, it's not here. Just if I carve out this, there you go, you'll be able to see a little bit better. So we've got repeaters leading to wires that are then attached to target blocks underneath the lighting system. Now the lighting system basically shows you where to land. And let me just put these blocks back. So yeah, it shows you where to land. So we've got the same setup here. So it will go wiring, and in the middle of them will be the repeater, wiring, repeater, the wiring, repeater, and so on and so forth. Now over here I have a little loop. All the wiring is attached to a sculpt sensor, as you can hear, and I was trying to figure out if I could do it so that when something moved, the sculpt sensor will go off and give this like nice pattern. So underneath, what I've done for the the copper golem is basically done a loop. So he's got his copper box, which then leads onto a couple of hoppers, which then leads into a chest. Well, no, the chest leads into the copper box, it's the other way around. So basically, the copper golem will pick up what's in this chest, drop it off in that box, and the box will go around and drop it back off in the chest. And every time he moves, the sculpt sensor goes off, and when he does move, you get this lovely repeating sort of landing strip pattern, which I am pretty proud of. It took me a while to figure out, but yes, this is also inspired by the landing platform. Obviously it's not finished, got quite a bit of work to do, but I did want to bring you here so then I can now take you upstairs and just show you how I work on patterns. So meet you back at the top floor. I do have feather falling. Well, it's not feather falling. I have a basic phantom head, and what it does, it gives me a bit of feather falling, so it helps a lot because I have a tendency to fall, so which is not helpful. So I think we'll start on blocking out some of the area where it's going to be white. But what I'm also going to do is chuck all my rubbish in here, and actually I don't think I have for the shading of... Oh no, I do. I have quite a few little blocks just for the shading on the outside. We're going to chuck some of this in. No, we don't. You'll get the gist of where I'm going with it. Now this section here is going to be the big white section. Now it's a case of I'm going to have to rip out all of these grey blocks basically. So if I just use, I'm just going to pin up my red terracotta because I've got quite a bit. So we've got a tundra, we've got a Badlands nearby. So we'll just do this. So let's take out. So basically, the weather is going to probably be hitting from the sides, so you mostly be distressed. Mostly be distressed on the corners. I believe that was a phantom. So let's take away some of this. We'll work on how to make it look sort of dirty in the corners. So I'm going to start off with a few bone blocks. We'll put one there. Ooh, bit of lag. I think the lag is coming from my heads, but what I want to do is put that there, and then we'll get, I think the pale oak is slightly lighter. I am now going to put these in places. So I think the pale oak is slightly lighter. Oh my, what is going on with me today? So if we put these, say in that pattern, and then we just take the axe, just and then I think it might be the way around actually. So let's remove this, and then we'll take these out. Oh no, my axe broke. I need to upgrade my axes. I'll go through my axes like mad. So let's just get our bits. Luckily these little shells help a bit. Let's swap these out. So I haven't tested this out. As you can tell, I haven't tested all this out. So let's put in this, and this. And then what we will do is get the white, and we'll chop a little bit more of this out, and we'll add some white, and that will probably be not the full thing, but I want to show you roughly how I will do it. So this gives you the dirty, sort of dirty gradient of the sides. Obviously the stairs will get changed out, but I quite like it. I think once it's all done it'll blend in a lot better, and once the stairs are put in. But I think that is going to look pretty cool, and I think it's going to work out quite nicely. It's going to give it that extra shot of colour, possibly. I think it'll work, but I am going to be happy to be working on that between episodes, and I think I'm stuck. No, I'm not. Yeah, so between episodes, I think I'm going to be very, very happy with working on that. So guys, I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you're having a wonderful New Year as well. We have some big things coming, and possibly some new people coming in the new year, which is going to be quite fun. But I hope you guys have enjoyed what I've done on this thing. It is going to be my home base, and then we can get on with a lot more of the lore, because the lore is going to be a big thing in this season. So anyway guys, I hope you're having a wonderful time. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, because you guys have been amazing lately. I'm nearly at the 500 subscription mark, and possibly by the time this video comes out, I will already be there. And stay crafty.